My name is Alex. In 2018, on a foggy October evening, was visiting my parents in a small town in Massachusetts. It was Halloween, and the entire neighborhood was adorned with spooky decorations and eerie jack-o'-lanterns. Little did I know that this visit would be forever etched in my memory as the most chilling and disturbing night of my life. On that particular night, my parents had gone out to a community Halloween party, leaving me alone in the house. As I sat by the window, sipping hot cocoa and watching the misty rain tapping on the glass, something caught my eye across the street. A pale figure swayed gently from a tree branch, barely visible through the thick fog. Initially, I assumed it was just another Halloween decoration put up by one of the neighbors. People in this town were known for their elaborate displays, and it wasn't uncommon to see lifelike decorations around Halloween. But as minutes turned into an hour, a sense of unease crept over me. The figure seemed too realistic, too hauntingly lifelike. Curiosity mingled with dread, and I decided to venture out and get a closer look. Pulling my jacket tight around me, I crossed the street and approached the tree. My heart pounded in my chest as I drew nearer, and that's when I saw it, the lifeless body of a woman hanging from the branch. Horror washed over me as I realized that a tragedy had unfolded right in front of our eyes, and we had all been blind to it. Frantically, I called emergency services, my voice trembling as I tried to explain the grim discovery. The police arrived swiftly, followed by an ambulance, but it was already too late. The woman's life had been lost, and all that remained was the somber aftermath of an inexplicable event. Before we continue, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. In 1995, on a chilly Halloween night, I was exhausted after a long day of giving out candies to eager trick-or-treaters. The clock struck midnight, and just as I thought the Halloween excitement had ended, I heard an unexpected knock at my door. Cautiously, I made my way to the entrance, wondering who could possibly be seeking treats at such a late hour. As I swung open the door, a bone-chilling sight greeted me, a figure cloaked in darkness, wearing a tattered, ominous cloak, and their face concealed by a pillowcase with crude eye holes cut out. "Trick or treat," the figure rasped, their voice trembling with an unsettling intensity. "Give me your money or I'll shoot." Fear paralyzed me as I realized the gravity of the situation. The mysterious intruder revealed a glinting gun, and I knew I had no choice but to comply with their demands. I led the masked figure down to the basement where I kept a small safe, hidden from plain sight. With trembling hands, I fumbled to unlock the safe, each moment stretching into eternity. The figure seemed to grow impatient, the coldness emanating from them almost suffocating. Finally, I managed to open the safe, and they greedily snatched the cash within, stuffing it into their cloak. But just as they turned to leave, an eerie silence enveloped the basement. The figure paused, and I could sense a sudden change in the atmosphere. Fear washed over me once more as I realized that perhaps this intruder wasn't just after money. As if reading my thoughts, the figure slowly turned back toward me, their eyes now glinting with something more sinister than greed. My heart pounded in my chest, and I could hardly find my voice to speak. "What do you want from me?" I managed to croak, trying to mask the terror in my voice. Instead of replying, they stepped closer, and I could feel an icy breath against my neck. Panic surged through me, and I took a step back, bumping into the cold concrete wall behind me. I was trapped in my basement with this enigmatic, menacing stranger. Just as I was about to beg for mercy, the lights flickered and died, plunging us both into utter darkness. My pulse quickened even more, and in that moment of pure blackness, I heard a low, malevolent chuckle emanating from the figure. "You should have never opened the door," they whispered, their voice now laced with malevolence. In the darkness, I fumbled for any escape route, but before I could make a move, the lights returned, and the figure was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving me bewildered and terrified in my dimly lit basement. To this day, I can't explain what happened that Halloween night. Was it a mere mortal thief with a penchant for theatrics, or did I encounter something supernatural, something beyond the realm of the living? One thing is certain, the memory of that night haunts me, and I can't help but wonder if that cloaked figure still lurks in the shadows, waiting for another chance to materialize on Halloween and claim what rightfully belongs to the realm of nightmares. This happened when I was just 10 years old. On that Halloween night, was thrilled to be out trick-or-treating with my friends. The streets were adorned with spooky decorations, and the laughter of children echoed through the neighborhood as we excitedly collected candy from every house. As the night wore on, our bags overflowed with sugary treasures. Among the assortment of treats, there was an unusual find, a small, unmarked bag filled with colorful candies that none of us recognized. Intrigued by the mystery, we decided to share the contents, each of us taking a handful. Eager to see what we had discovered, we unwrapped the candies and popped them into our mouths. At first, the taste was sweet and familiar, but soon an odd bitterness emerged. Unbeknownst to us, the candies had been maliciously laced with a sinister substance. As the minutes passed, an inexplicable change overcame our group. Laughter turned to wild giggling, and our mischief took a darker turn. We began misbehaving in ways we never would have imagined in our normal state of mind. Giggling uncontrollably, we ran through the streets, knocking over pumpkins and causing chaos wherever we went. Our innocent Halloween fun had spiraled into a night of mayhem, all thanks to the tainted candy. Eventually, the intoxicating effects of the drugs took their toll, and one by one, my friends passed out. I, too, succumbed to the haze of the night and lost consciousness. The next thing I knew, I awoke in a stark, sterile hospital room, surrounded by worried faces, my parents and the parents of my friends. The weight of what had happened settled heavily on my young shoulders as they explained what had transpired on that fateful Halloween evening. The candies we had consumed were not harmless treats, but a dangerous concoction engineered by a group of reckless boys who thought it would be funny to see the chaos unfold. They had been apprehended by the police, but their cruel prank had left a lasting mark on our innocent lives. From that night on, Halloween took on a new meaning for me. The joy and excitement were replaced by a sense of caution and trepidation. The once beloved tradition now evoked memories of that haunting experience, forever coloring the holiday with shadows of fear. As the years passed, my friends and I grew wiser, learning to be more cautious in our celebrations. But the scars of that Halloween night ran deep, leaving a lingering sense of distrust and uncertainty in its wake.